From Cheaters surveillance cameras, you are about to view actual, true stories filmed live, documenting the pain of a spouse or lover caused by infidelity. This program is dedicated to the faithful and presented to the false-hearted to encourage their renewal of temperance and virtue. Coming up on this episode of Cheaters.
He's not driving limos.
No.
They are actually at a nail salon right now.
Hey, isn't this cute?
You're getting a mani.
Cut off of me. You're supposed to be my sister.
Real reality television is brought to you by Cheaters Detective Agency's Private Eyes on Cheaters.
Welcome to another outrageous episode of Cheaters. Our first case tonight introduces Lexi McLeod, a young nanny with questions about her boyfriend of 2 years. Noticing differences in his actions lately, Lexi asked for assistance from Cheaters to determine the truth.
We met through a friend of a friend at some party. I was playing beer pong and I won. So then, of course, he had to challenge me because that's how he is. So then we were playing beer pong, and then after that, we just started talking all throughout the rest of the party. And then, after that, we just really clicked and we just started hanging out all the time, 24/7, texting, talking. He's really funny. He makes my family laugh a lot. They love him. He comes over to Sunday dinner every week, and they just really have a good connection with him. And honestly, I do see a future with him.
Identity withheld. Age 28. A limousine driver suspected of driving his relationship into the gutter. Apprised of the suspect's schedule, Cheaters HQ places investigators around the suspect's residence. Sometime later, the suspect, whose identity remains withheld, emerges from his home. The 20-something drives blindly to an unknown residence without recognizing the trailing Cheaters team. The suspect enters the front door.
I'm a nanny, so I work during the day. He works during the night time, which makes it difficult to spend time together. So most nights he'll come over to my house and he'll spend the night. But lately he's just been coming up with bizarre excuses. He's saying that he wants to go hang out with his friends. He needs more guy time. Well, he just gets so on edge and so defensive. So when I ask him, hey, what's wrong? Is there anything that's going on with you? And that just gets him more mad. And, he says that I'm always up in his business. And just to not ask him so many questions, which I don't think I do, I'm just worried about him.
Sometime later, the suspect surfaces with an unknown female. He gives her a familiar hug. They say their goodbyes. With a cursory glance back, the suspect walks to his vehicle. The man drives away from the unknown female's home. Cheaters agents trail the suspect as he returns home for the evening.
My family, they don't even ask about him anymore. My sister, she would ask me every now and then because they notice a difference in his behavior too. And she would ask me what's going on with him. And now they don't even ask anymore because it's just the person that he's becoming. And I'm just scared. This is my first real relationship with anyone. And, I do want to start a future with him. And I just don't know if that's even going to be possible anymore. What if he is cheating on me? I don't know.
Cheaters investigators continue to stake out the suspect's apartment. After some time, the suspect makes an appearance. The man drives through town, followed by a Cheaters squad. He reaches a coffee shop. Sometime later, the woman from previous surveillance, whose identity remains withheld, arrives. The alleged adulterous couple enter the shop. Moments later, with their wares in hand, the suspect and his paramour find a table on the patio. The duo drink, converse, and make merry. Sometime later, the illicit twosome leaves the shop. While holding hands, they cross the parking lot to the young lady's vehicle. The suspect leans in to kiss her goodbye. He gets into his SUV and drives away from the scene of the crime. The suspect returns home, ending this day of surveillance. Recognizing a pattern, Cheaters detectives stay glued to the suspect's home. Sometime later, operators spot the suspect as he comes out of his home. The man gets into his vehicle. He travels through town to the home seen previously on surveillance. The suspect walks up to the front door and knocks. His banging is rewarded when his companion opens the door. He greets the young lady with hugs and kisses. She allows the suspect entry. Through the window, investigators spy the suspect and his mistress. The suspect's courtesan climbs onto his lap. She rains kisses upon him. Sometime later, the suspect and his lady friend materialize. Holding hands, the suspect and his playmate walk to the man's vehicle. At the SUV, they hug and kiss. Once again, the suspect pats his companion on the buttocks. The young lady walks away to her abode. As the suspects leave, the Cheaters team collates all evidence to present to an upset Lexi. Coming up, the confrontation.
Lexi's most disastrous fears bear fruit. Cheaters headquarters puts out a call to the aching woman. Although frightened of the veracity of the information, she feels the need for accuracy of the suspect's actions, and Lexi agrees to hear the details.
Lexi, the first thing I'd like to say is, I really appreciate you coming out tonight. As you know, Lexi, we have conducted our investigation. I did notice you brought some items with you. Before I show you the surveillance, can you tell me what we have here? What is this?
Yeah, so is a limo driver, and he said that he was going to be working tonight. Clearly that wasn't the case because I went over to his place. I have the key. So I went in and I saw that he has his limo driver's uniform here at the house. So obviously he's not at work. I don't know where he is. So I just took it.
Well, we know exactly where he is, and we will get to that point in time. So are you ready to see the surveillance?
Yeah.
Okay. We begin our investigation outside of apartment. That's when we see him walk out, get into the driver's side of his vehicle, and he drives away. As our detectives follow, he pulls up to this residence.
That's my house.
We see him go in the front door. After about an hour or so passes, he emerges with this woman.
That's my sister.
That's your sister?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know that he and my sister were spending time alone.
Lexi, as we move on with our investigation, on this day we are outside of apartment. Sometime later, he emerges, the hat on, cell phone in his hand. He gets into the car and he leaves. As our detectives follow, we see him drive for some distance, and then he parks and arrives at a coffee shop. And sometime later, a female, your sister, meets him. They get coffee together and actually sit outside. They're holding hands. She's smiling, sharing some drinks. There was a phone call between you and what you're about to hear is the audio from that conversation. I want you to see if you remember this conversation or remember this day at all, okay? All right.
Hey, babe. Are you on your way over?
What's up, babe? Actually, I'm not going to be coming over. It's like I said, something came up at work.
Oh. Like what?
Well, they don't have enough drivers to come pick up this quinceañera party. I guess there's like 80 kids. My boss asked me to help out.
You've been having to stay late for like the past 3 or 4 days now. Can't you come over afterward?
I can't promise anything. Can I call you when I'm done working?
Sure. Fine. Whatever.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
He's not driving limos.
No.
He's been lying to you.
Yeah.
So are there certain things beginning to come together on your side?
Yeah.
I presume your sister would know who he was on the phone with?
Probably.
I would say she has to. I mean,
Yeah.
the way she was looking at him and kind of smirking. So after finishing up the phone call with you, when we see the two of them leave the coffee shop together, and he actually goes up and opens her car door for her, escorts her into her vehicle. He gives her a farewell, gets into that black SUV, and our detectives follow him as he returns home for the evening. My question for you is, are you ready to go confront your sister?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm ready to raise hell right now.
Okay, right this way. Okay, well, we did get a location from our detective, and they are actually at a nail salon right now getting pedicures.
Oh, hey, isn't this cute? Oh. You guys having a cute little mani-pedi? That's so adorable.
You're getting a mani.
Cut off of me. Ow! Off of me. You want the mine, bro? What the mine? Oh my God, what's wrong? Oh God, stop.
These are sisters right here.
Yeah.
And you played one of them, you lied to her. So
What do you want to know, man?
I want to know the truth. How did this
You have to pay for yourself.
How did this happen exactly?
Stop.
You remember these days?
That's not.
That's not you? No?
Must be my brother Ryan.
That's your brother Ryan?
Yeah.
Is he a twin of yours?
Yeah, I got a twin, Ryan, man.
Does he have a twin?
Okay, he doesn't want to use it. You know why? Because I can pull it down better than you can.
Are you drunk?
Coming up, the conclusion.
Hey, isn't this cute?
You're getting a mani.
Cut off of me.
How did this
You have to pay for yourself.
Get the over.
Watch it. Watch the video.
You remember this phone call? You remember this phone call?
Oh, by the way,
That's got to be my brother Ryan, man. I told you.
here.
brother Ryan?
Here's your colic dog.
I've been
Dog.
Brother-
You're a slut. Obviously, I can do it better than you can.
So,
Look, man, look,
so you
man.
mean to tell me this isn't you?
She's been letting herself go.
That's
now
not
she's
you.
been hanging out with her sister.
Wow, you're running away.
I gotta know.
Bro, y'all
You
tripping,
mean,
man.
you mean
Get
to
out
tell
of
me
here,
that's your
man.
twin brother?
Watch that, man.
Because it looks just like you
Around
do.
my mother face, man. Sorry.
You're supposed to be my sister.
You know why he's been sleeping around? It's because you don't pay attention to him. You don't put it down like I do. You just don't know how to do it like me.
Slut.
Oh, yeah. And you don't know how to do it. Be a
Take
woman,
my jacket
bro.
off.
Be a woman.
Jacket.
You want your jacket? You want it? You want this? You want your
Come on, let's go.
Here
Let's
you
go.
go.
We're going home.
ass? No. Here you go. Here you
I thought you had your together.
You want a bow tie? Can't remember, man. You want my bow tie?
Just talk to me.
Is this what you want, man? You want two sisters?
I'll call you when I get home.
You'll call me when you get home.
You know what it is.
You know what?
Sign up for all this.
I got a really important question for you. What's your family gonna think when they see this?
Oh yeah, what's mom and dad gonna say? They're just gonna say, oh, there she goes, she's a little slut again.
pretty one.
She's a slut. She's a slut. Ow!
You don't know how to put it down like I do. She's 22 and like she doesn't know anything about love or anything.
I don't know anything about love.
Your sister or if you had to pick one?
You can't ask me that.
Why?
Don't
Why
listen
can't
to
I
the
ask
crowd, baby. They don't know what they're talking about. We love. They don't have love.
Why can't I ask you that?
You don't know whose car this is.
Fell out of my purse.
God. I don't. Ah! Ow!
My wallet, bro. Where's my wallet?
Taking your money.
Where my keys at?
You're on Trader's mind. You want Trader's mind? Guess what? You want Trader's mind? Look, you want Trader's in my mind. She gonna have my business. Your baby daddy. She gonna mind your own business, bro. What you doing at job? At 10 o'clock at night.
Take your wallet.
Get your wallet.
Take your wallet.
Hey, that was rude as.
You're so delusional and sad. It's so sad.
Pussy.
We that.
Look at these I'm done.
Who do you want to be with at the end of the day when you fall asleep?
Oh, I gotta go. Yeah. Bitch, I was gonna
fall asleep. Who the do you want to be with?
No, you're making me look bad. Okay,
This is bull.
Manny Petty. I've gotten hit like 6 times, dude.
Are you gonna be okay? You're a grown-ass man, you got hit by girls.
These bitches hit hard, dude.
Yeah, I think it hits a little bit harder what you did.
My brother, man.
Your brother Ryan happens to look just like you.
I don't have those clothes.
Get in this car. I don't want him. Get in this car. Get in the car.
Stop.
Get
Stop.
in
Stop. Stop.
the car.
Stop. Stop.
Hey,
That's your sister.
Just go home.
You think this
y'all got me so stressed. Hey, get in the car. I'm about to leave your ass.
Bro, I'm at the car, bro. You want to go
hop in the back?
home?
You think this is all fake, man?
Please.
Yeah, mother. You're making me look bad.
After the pandemonium of the confrontation, Lexi deems it necessary to make changes in her life. Later, Cheaters reports on her decision. But first, Simon Reed, a former client, comes back in to explain his actions on the night he caught his best friend and wife together on Cheaters.
The evening when the confrontation happened, it's all a bit of a blur to me now. It was raining so hard. My thoughts were racing through my head. The last thing I thought was going to happen is it was going to be my best friend with my wife. I saw them sitting there just eating and spending my money. It just saw red, you know. I just had to get it resolved at that point.
Right there, right there.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What the f you doing? What are you doing, man?
Oh, okay, calm down.
My wife's here. You're with my wife, yeah?
We're just having a pie. Just having a pie, having a couple of beers.
Is it nice? Is it nice? Is it nice? It's him!
Why would you do this to your best friend? Why would you do this to your husband?
What are you doing, Simon? What are you doing?
When I confronted Chris, I wanted to smash a glass of beer in his face. I wanted to put his head through the table. Me and him have been friends for such a long time, and for him to be with my wife, just casually out eating food, and I confront him and he's just not interested. It's the biggest shock to me. I never thought he would turn. I always thought he was always going to be my best friend. I never thought he was going to be the person of all people ever to be the person taking away my wife.
That's my beer?
Yeah, I've been staying there, man.
Why?
I think you've been more than staying there.
Of all the people.
It's one thing to have a beer, but it's another thing to have a wife.
Man, you call me red-handed, man. I'm sorry.
This is over.
She's really hot, man.
Since losing my best friend and losing my wife, I have a bit of a void in my life. Me and Chris used to go to rock shows. We used to get drunk, and we used to go on pub crawls. I've lost a very important essence of my life. I've been able to put a lot more effort into my career. I've received a promotion, which is great. I do find myself quite lonely. I do have plenty of opportunities with women when I'm traveling. I've had a few, but I'm not really ready. I'm still hurting really from Sarah, and losing my best friend as well. So yeah, I'm single now, but only time heals. Time heals, and I'll be able to find the right woman again soon.
After the discovery that her boyfriend's secret lover happens to be her very own sister, Lexi McLeod cuts off all contact with the suspect. Lexi speaks to Cheaters producers and states, "I'm still upset at my sister. She knew better than that, but I know I'll probably end up forgiving her." The suspect continues to see his companion despite the furor it causes. However, Cheaters learns that relationship lasts only a few months more. The suspect is again caught cheating, only this time by Lexi's sister. The suspect's companion states to Cheater's producers, "He did to me what he did to Lexi. I feel really bad for what I did, but it won't stop me from dating who I want."
Cheating is a crime. It happens every day. Ugly people running around. Pretty soon they'll have to pay. They think nobody's watching, but you better think again. Another heart is broken.
Now remember, if you don't get your programming from Goldstein's, why, we'll both lose money.